Today on R&R, Larry and Howard are talking about the World Cup in Qatar, the NFL season so far, the early NBA season, and Deion Sanders coaching in the Celebration Bowl. Then they are joined by Jackson State University alum and donor Jeff Harris to talk about the departure of Deion Sanders. All of this and more on this week's episode of R&R on Sports. Now here are your hosts, Larry and Howard.
Hello and welcome to R&R on Sports. I am Howard Robertson.
And I am the fantastic, the most amazing, and the extraterrestrial that is known as Larry Robinson. Hey, baby.
The E.T.
Of course. Hey, baby, I'll bring you home. I'll bring you home.
All right. Folks don't even realize. They don't even know what you're talking about. E.T. Phone Home.
There you go, baby.
Oh, man. Y'all go check out E.T. on YouTube or something. So,
speaking of checking out.
Yeah.
Have you checked out this damn World Cup?
Yes.
Man.
You talking
this
about
is the darkest World Cup.
Yeah, it is.
In my knowledge of following sports in World Cup.
It is. If any of you are Peanuts fans and have seen it on television, there is a character whose name is Pigpen. And everywhere Pigpen goes, there is a cloud of dust because he is filthy.
He's filthy, dude.
He's filthy. He got this dust bowl around him everywhere. I don't know. They might have written Pigpen out of it. But the World Cup in Qatar reminds me of, there's this cloud over it. Big rain cloud, and it became bigger and worse because of the untimely death of Grant Wahl.
Well, yes, absolutely. But this World Cup has been scarred for many, many years. From the beginning, it's been thought that there was corruption, that the people were paid off on the board deciding the next location of the World Cup. Then you got the individuals that got murdered because they cheered for the U.S. soccer team. It's been something. Then you got Grant Wahl, who is the American face of soccer in the media for so many people, and a beloved individual and a beloved member of the media community. And then, you just got, just the overall just bad taste that people have had in their mouths over everything that's going on.
But here's what I don't want anybody to do. Especially anybody in the U.S. Don't get, U.S. or anywhere else, don't get holier than thou now. Don't act like you don't know what you're seeing. Don't act like you don't know what you're seeing, because what you are seeing is a parallel image of the IOC. You're looking at a world-run organization,
governing body
that goes way, way back, that is very, very powerful, influential, and rich.
And the IOC is the International Olympic Committee.
That's right. That's right. And it is typically run by people that believe, I believe, and this is how it's saying.
You know what you make
in dictatorships. So they run it with an iron hand. They got this
a few years ago, CONCACAF had some issues a few years ago about corruption and things like that. So you may be truly right on that.
Hey, man, that's what kind of spirit this organization has. But coming to a close with the finals, and they playing some soccer now. They are playing some soccer. They're playing some serious soccer.
Soccer's coming, baby. If you in America and you ain't got on this soccer train, you better start looking for a seat or at least a ticket, because I'm telling you, this thing is picking up steam, and these kids are really playing soccer. And I think it coincides with the whole thing around football, and football actually numbers are waning at the youth level, but soccer is starting to skyrocket because of the perceived lack of contact.
I have a 14-year-old.
Oh yeah,
granddaughter, soon to be. She'll be 14 this coming Saturday, and we are looking forward to a mighty nice D1 scholarship. Yes, somewhere. All right. We've got so much more for you here on R&R on Sports. This is only the beginning. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this.
Riffin' on Jazz.
Brother Chucko Bannon.
Yes, sir.
How are you, sir?
Hey, I am so blessed to be here.
Hey, man, you're
Thank
looking
you
good.
for
And
asking.
congratulations on your award.
Thank you very much. I appreciate
won a big award, and it's a real deal. It's an authentic award,
I hear
too.
you.
Riffin' on Jazz on the Kazookian Network.
Welcome to another edition of Fly on the Wall. This week, listen in on former NFL great Ray Lewis's first day making extra money as a department store Santa Claus. And now, you become a fly on the wall.
Well, hello, little man. Come on up here and tell Santa Ray what you want on Christmas Day.
I want a Jedi sword, a bike, and a soccer ball.
No, little man. You mean a football, and it's going to be your most favorite present. And on the football field, you're going to possess and advance that ball. You're going to be in combat. And if anybody tries to take your football, you're going to crush them and smack them in the damn mouth. Woo!
No! Mommy!
What about you, little girl?
Santa, I want a Barbie.
May I recommend a Ronda Rousey action figure? Now, Mom, you don't want this girl to be a DMB, do you?
Ray, may I speak to you for a minute, please?
Oh, sure, boss. Is there a problem?
Ray, it's Christmas, man. You gotta lighten up a little bit. Be kinder, gentler, a little more lovable, you know?
Oh, okay, boss. 'Cause I really want to do a good job. You know what I mean? Now, who's next?
That would be me.
Well, ho, ho, ho!
You watch your mouth. You don't know me that well. Yet. May I sit in your lap, Santa?
You damn right. I mean, sure, little girl. Now, have you been good this year?
I'm better than good, Santa Ray. Let me tell you some of the good stuff I did. But I'll have to whisper them to you. Come a little closer.
Woo! Wow! You can do that?
And because I can do that so well, I want an ermine, some Yerman as in David, and Prada on the driver's side of a Bentley Continental GT. That's all I want.
That's all you want?
That's all I want.
And you'll do some of those? Ho, ho, ho! Santa gotta go! Gotta go feed the reindeer.
You give me what I want, and someone will be kissing Santa Claus.
You gonna be kissing? Merry Christmas.
Human Speed with Kirk Whalum.
Avery Sunshine, I am just overjoyed to spend some time with you.
Listen, what you know about pot liquor? You from Memphis, so you know.
My favorite part of all of that, I'm like, don't throw that away.
Human Speed with Kirk Whalum.
This is R&R on Sports.
Welcome back to R&R on Sports. Folks, People have become so accustomed to, unfortunately, have become so accustomed to. Welcome back.
I'm like Quavo. Yeah. I'm like Quavo on the Migos. You know, he just do the one word ad lib.
Yeah. Okay. So all kind of stuff is happening. You still watching football?
Oh man, absolutely.
Are you?
Absolutely.
Who you like?
Good football, man.
Who you like?
Man, the team that I guess I am really, really attracted to their plight are the Philadelphia Eagles.
Eagles are strong,
because everybody's trying to take shots at a lot of pundits are taking shots at this kid, Jalen Hurts. But to me, what I remember is a freshman that won the national championship, a sophomore that went to the national championship game, and then a junior who was replaced in the national championship game. I mean, this is a guy that's had a tremendously powerful college career in which he was in 3 or 4 national championship title games. And it's almost as if he shouldn't be playing at this level. And I'm saying, wait a minute, the signs were there that this is a great player.
In my opinion, they're the ones to beat. They are the ones to beat.
No doubt.
Very, very strong. They're so balanced. And they are a machine, man. They will run over you over and over and over again. And so I like them. I like them too. You know, I'm a Kansas City fan.
Yeah, you got the Michael Jordan of football, man, and back with Patrick Mahomes.
Right.
The stuff he threw a pass the other day. I was like, what is that, man? He just kind of flipped it out there.
Oh, he'd side arms and backhands and all
no look.
Stuff.
He throw no look passes. I'm like, this dude is just really
He throws
special,
passes
man.
like people hit tennis balls. Backhand. Overhead, sideways, and all of that stuff. So I'm enjoying them. Man, let me say something. I never, ever, ever was. I had to grow good and old to be able to even tolerate the Dallas Cowboys.
Really?
And now I am so enjoying this young man who happens to be from my hometown.
Oh, yeah.
Memphis, Tennessee, who is...
You talking about Tony Pollard?
I'm talking entirely about Tony Pollard.
Yeah, he's a bad boy.
My goodness.
I think he's made
Zeke. My goodness.
I think he's made Zeke expendable.
Man.
I think he's made Zeke expendable. But I think the problem Dallas has is something that also I did not expect. And that is, I think Dak is not the same Dak. And I think that's where they're going to have problems in the playoffs. Because
you think that's
he's throwing the ball away too much, too many interceptions, and then they trying to bring in the boys. They talking to OBJ. They just brought in some other cat that has been retired to try to shore up their receiver core. But listen, the ball has to get there, regardless of who's on the other end.
Absolutely,
the ball has to get there where they can catch it.
Right,
and Dak ain't been doing that.
And let me talk about my total dark horse that has
Who's your dark horse?
Team that has made me cry. They will make you cry because they will snatch defeat out of the jaws of victory every time. But I still represent them because I love them. And they remind me of my hometown. And every time I wear my cap, somebody from there stops me and goes, homie. Oh my, because they are so unaccustomed to seeing somebody rep their team.
And who is that?
I'm talking about the Detroit Lions.
You're a Detroit Lions
who put
fans?
a whooping on the Vikings.
You are a Detroit Lions fan.
Because I love Detroit.
And they're your back
and everything.
And they're your dark horse.
Oh, totally. Would they not be your dark horse?
No. No.
Is there anything darker than dark?
No, because that's dark. That's about as dark. That's pitch black. That's pitch black in the middle of the forest. Ain't no street lights. Ain't no street lights. Nothing. That's dark as hell, brother. But I will say that if I had to pick a dark horse,
they're gonna go to the playoffs. Wait and see. They're in the wild card. They're at the top of the wild card.
Okay. All right. Well, my dark horse would be Miami Dolphins.
Oh, okay.
No, that would be Tua Tagovailoa with his multiple concussions and all of that.
All of that.
I'm thinking it could be an amazing story for Disney for him to come back from all that adversity and then end up winning the Super Bowl. So I think Disney is in the story in the area of telling stories. And I think this would be an amazing one.
There's some good football being played. What do you think about the NBA? What's happening in the NBA that you like and whatnot? You've been going to Grizzlies games?
I've been checking out the Grizzlies, but let me ask you this. Is there anybody playing better than Luka? Is anybody playing better than Luka, man? Luka is looking amazing.
Yeah.
It's two people that I've really been impressed. No, actually three people that I've really been impressed with. And one just recently got injured, and that's Luka. And without, and this is no surprise to anybody, Stephen Curry.
Mm-hmm.
Third one who's been balling out lately, and that's Anthony Davis. Street clothes.
Wow.
Street clothes, as Charles Barkley calls him. I mean, he's really been playing well. And he reminds me of, when they were talking about him being the heir apparent in LeBron and being able to be the MVP candidate and all that, and being mentioned in the same level as the Greek Freak and Kawhi Leonard and all the other guys. Anthony Davis is looking like he's doing something, but we just got to keep him healthy.
He's absolutely, he's very fragile. He's absolutely a man on a mission, and I wish him the best in terms of staying healthy, because that has been, oh my God.
Street clothes.
And somebody that's your nick. Oh my goodness.
But wait a minute, I'm missing one. Wait a minute, hold on. Stop the bus. The brother that's been killing the game, Jason Tatum.
Oh yeah,
Jason Tatum.
Now,
Jason Tatum right now is he's running a fast race, and he's actually in first place by himself. But then you got, he's truly stepping up.
We got a piece of paper here in front of us with bullet points on it, and I'm just going to read one of them.
Okay.
Just 4 words. Are the Celtics frauds?
They have the best record in the league. And they win close games. To me, that says they are not frauds, and that he got great coaching. And even though his first year coach Joe Mazzulla, I think that he's really helping them to recapture some of the energy. Most people don't realize the Celtics were dead tired in the playoffs last year. They had like 3 7-game series. They had 3 back-to-back 7-game series. Now, true enough, they were playing against a depleted Milwaukee Bucks with only Giannis. However, they had 3 7-game series.
I think
they were dead tired when they went to the finals.
Well, I think a key factor is 2 things. They know how to play together, and they know how to win. They know how to play and if you could say that about anybody's team, you got something. If they can play together, meaning they know each other's nuances, they know each other's moves before they make them, they know where they're going to end up, not where they're not.
There's some great chemistry between Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, and Jason Tatum.
Yeah,
there's some great chemistry there.
And they know how to win. They know how to win. I've watched them tight games. They know what to do. They know when to turn it on. It's like driving a race car, man. You got to know when to change gears.
Now they doing all this with 2 first-year coaches now. They did it last year with Ime Udoka, and then they're going this year with Joe Mazzulla.
Yeah, well, they know more about each other than the coaches do. So they don't seek that. They don't seek that motivation or that leadership from the
leadership, you got to get that leadership. You're still in them tough situations, and that's when those close games is when you really get to see, I believe, how valuable a coach is. But listen, last thing, real quick.
Yeah.
Celebration Bowl. Deion Sanders, president of Jackson State, said that he was not going to allow him to play.
And here's what he said, quote, "I wouldn't allow anyone to tell me I couldn't finish with my team." That's what he said. So Deion Sanders, Coach Prime, is leading JSU in the Celebration Bowl before he bounces to Boulder.
Listen, and the reason we want to make sure and bring up that Deion Sanders piece is because in our interview, our conversation segment, we have Brother Jeff Harris. JSU.
Prominent JSU alum. Booster.
And very active in the program and in the school. So we want to kind of find out some boots on the ground information as it relates to JSU.
Great perspective from Jeff. Wisdom from Jeff Harris. Right after this, only on R&R on Sports.
Black women staffers at Planned Parenthood and across, reproductive health care are not trusted as being thought leaders. And I think that distrust is carried over into patient care.
DeSantis gerrymandered most of Florida. That's why he got what he got, right? I mean, come on, folks. He has bullied every local official in the state of Florida. He's bullied the legislature.
Candidacies and the type of candidates you have absolutely positively matter. The things that made Donald Trump a different type of candidate, even though he didn't know facts, he wasn't good in debates, he didn't want to answer issues, and he had a whole lot of baggage. The type of candidate he was appealed to America in 2016, and it rubbed a lot of Republicans the wrong way in 2020.
Funky politics.
Kadzukian. Check out all your Kadzukian favorites now. Download the Kadzukian app, available on Android and iOS.
You are listening to R&R on Sports.
Welcome back to R&R on Sports, where we have as our guest a very, very, very close friend of mine, not Larry's. He's a close friend of mine. All right? So y'all understand that. Now, Larry going to try to claim him. Larry's going to try to claim him.
But that's only
so
if
you
he
can
wants
be
to be
expecting
claimed.
that.
Only if he wants to be claimed.
All right.
I ain't capped the claim.
Right. Yeah, well, he probably won't. I mean, this is his own. He's his own man. We're talking about healthcare professional, but most importantly, a very, very avid, loyal Jackson State University alum and booster, our good friend, Jeff Harris. Jeff, welcome to R&R on Sports.
Hi, gentlemen. Glad to be here. Thank y'all for finally getting around to me and inviting me on here.
Well, Jackson State just got relevant. It just got relevant.
Well, no, Howard, he's right. In an athletic terms, he's right. In the athletic world, he's correct.
So let's jump right into it. There has been all kinds of press, all kinds of social media exchange, all kinds of barbershop conversations, round the table, the dinner table conversations about what has transpired at JSU, particularly since Coach Prime's appearance and tenure. Talk about that from your perspective. How you even were you even an advocate for him becoming head coach at JSU?
When I heard about they were after Coach Prime, I was excited because, and then when they announced it, Howard and Larry, I was even more excited. And I said to my friends, we finally have a coach with some energy. Now, if you look at HBCU coaches, they are some of the dullest guys in the world at a press conference. They are. They stand there and look like they hate they went to work today. And now you think before Deion, before Coach Prime, we had some guys that stood there like we had Double O Soul, Harold Jackson. Then we had Coach Hughes and we had Coach Hendricks. And all three of those guys were like zero energy. And the first thing I said when they hired Coach Prime is, wow, we finally got a guy that can command a microphone and has some energy.
Okay. Absolutely. Listen, I had a quick question in the sense that, take us back to the beginning, man. Okay, so y'all were after Coach Prime. What was the energy like at JSU when the announcement was made? Deion Sanders, Coach Prime will be the new head coach of Jackson State Tigers.
Well, when it was first made, a lot of people didn't believe it. And a lot of us were like, okay, yeah, right. Because most people did not understand that Coach Prime had been coaching all these years on a high school level.
Absolutely.
And the 7-on-7s and all that. Nobody really realized that he was that engaged in trying to be a coach. Most people didn't know that he went to Talladega and finished his BS degree and all of that. I think it was Talladega. Most people didn't know that. And so some people were like, how is he going to be a college coach? He doesn't have a college degree. But they didn't have all the information. But once everything was proven to be true, as y'all saw, everything just escalated from there.
Right. What, now he came in, and was it the first year that he devoted essentially half of his salary to the program and in the interest of some kind of, I don't know, equipment, work or whatever? What talk about that?
I don't know the specifics because I wasn't there to get that. But from what I understand, he's dang near devoted most of his salary the whole time he's been there.
Oh, really?
Just from doing stuff program that needed to be done. Yeah, just to the kids.
Wait a minute. You telling me that Coach Prime was virtually working for free?
Pretty much. At the end of the day, pretty much.
The numbers I heard the numbers I heard was that he was making $300,000,
right?
And early on, so you looking at so around there, and he contributed about 150 or so thousand to the effort, to the program.
Yes, he did. The locker room and some other things. And one thing I saw about Coach Prime, not that I was there intimately with him, just from watching, is that if he wants to do something, he gets it done.
Yeah.
Just flat out simple. He has a tip. And I think the difference between Coach Prime and a lot of coaches is they're educators. He's a businessman and a coach.
Right.
Those are two different. He travels with a team that gets things done for him.
Right.
And so he doesn't have to do. Yeah. So if y'all saw when he got off the plane in Colorado, he had a bunch of people with him. They're always with him. They're always with him.
Right.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Listen, this is R&R on Sports, and we're speaking with sports enthusiast, Jackson State University booster, Jeff Harris.
So talk about the energy and the talk and whatnot that was created as a result of an undefeated season for the first time in JSU.
Well, hold on before we go there, Jeff, and I want to take us to a break. But can you talk about the challenges that Coach Prime has experienced while he was there? Because initially, early on, vehicle broken into, issues with facilities. Then you got the water issue in Jackson State. As an alumni, what kind of thoughts went through your head as this relationship sort of got off to a rocky start in some regards?
Well, I can't speak to the relationship with him and the president and that kind of thing and the money and that kind of stuff, because I don't know about that. And I'm not going to be like a bunch of guys on YouTube and stuff, just get on here and just say something to make themselves seem like they know. But I do know that it was a challenge. From the day he walked in, the practice field looked like a cow pasture that had horses running through it all the time. Mm-hmm. So the first thing he did, got on a phone call Walmart, got $1 million practice field put in.
Okay.
You know, when
just
they
like
ran
that.
out of, just like that. The man has a Rolodex like nobody else.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
man.
You know, we were under a Nike contract. All of a sudden, we're under Armour on a contract.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
We had more jerseys than anybody but Oregon. United than Oregon. You know, we had more uniforms than anybody in Oregon. Think about it. I heard they were getting new helmets every week.
Wow.
You know, and so you think about that, how then the facilities were very subpar. This man came from Texas. No, he came from Texas. The high schools in Texas have better facilities than our college. And most HBCUs, well, hell, the stadiums at a Texas high school is bigger than the stadiums at most colleges.
Right,
so,
right.
You know, it's larger than those. So he tried to bring up what he saw. And what a lot of people didn't understand, when we've always hired almost strictly within HBCU ranks. That's all HBCUs pretty. It's very seldom they went outside the HBCU brotherhood to hire a coach.
Right. Absolutely.
Absolutely. So you keep doing the same thing you've always done.
You're going to get what you always have gotten. Yeah. That's exactly right.
Coach has seen so many different things. He had lived a different life that he just tried to bring that with him. And then when you see things that are not right, he tried to fix it. That's all, like the water issue. He couldn't fix that, but he encouraged the mayor and the governor, y'all make some sense of this thing and just do what's right, you know. And, and just the crime is everywhere except for where he is now, I guess, because he said there's no crime in Boulder. But, you know, Jackson is like Memphis. There's a lot of crime because there's a lot of poverty. And so
there's a lot of poverty.
He had to deal with all of that. You know, but somebody stole his wallet and went in his bag the first game of the season when he was first there.
Broke in the office, dressing room.
In the locker room,
Officer dressing room,
But his assistant was there and caught the guys, but she couldn't do anything because she was a lady. She didn't want to get hurt. So, you know.
Right.
And so, but they got everything back and he talked about it. A lot of people didn't like when he talked, but you know how we are in our community. You don't say anything negative out loud.
Yeah, right.
Absolutely. But sometimes you have to shine a light for the roaches to stand up. And so
Boy, I love it. We're talking to JSU alum and booster and supporter and very, very successful professional, I will also say, Jeff Harris. And we're talking about his alma mater, JSU. And this is all happening on R&R on Sports. We will be right back for much more right after this.
I'm Cynthia Daniels, host of Grind Set. Are you looking to start a business? Do you need tips on how to scale up? Get it on Grind Set. On this show, our guests will keep you listening. What's your Grind Set? If you happen to miss some of our episodes, make sure you check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, Stitcher, or your favorite podcast provider.
Grind Set on the Kadzukian Network.
This is R&R on Sports. We're joined by Jackson State University alum and donor, Jeff Harris.
Welcome back to R&R on Sports on the Kadzukian Network. We're talking to Jeff Harris, JSU alum and booster. And we were talking about the process. Let's keep going with that conversation and talk about ultimately what happened. And that is stuff like notoriety, economic impact, not just for the school, but for the entire, not just for the school, not just for the entire Jackson, Mississippi community, but for everything called an HBCU.
Yeah, he had that kind of impact.
You talking about a rising tide that floated all boats? That's what he did. Talk about that. Talk about your perspective on that, Jeff.
When I saw what was going on, and you know how my entire family, we all HBCU people.
Yeah.
And when I saw that, I was like, wow, this is great for everybody. But my concern with that, Howard and Larry, was that do we know how to handle it though? Because it was coming. It was coming, and it was coming hard, and it was coming heavy. And everybody benefited from what I call the prime effect. You know, everybody benefited from that. Everybody benefited from that. I'm talking about everybody associated with HBCU, from the Benedict colleges to everybody benefited from that. You think about it, every Jackson State game, maybe except for one, was on the ESPN platform. And everybody else had, other schools had games on the platform.
Absolutely.
So
look at HBO Go. HBO Go, it got funded and sold during the Coach Prime era. I mean, literally, that small window created a whole network focused on HBCU sports that's being distributed by what I think CBS or NBC. So I mean, you talking about a you know, they said rising tide raises all boats. I mean, he rose the heck out of them boats.
Yeah, and everybody benefited. I'm talking about everybody who saw what he was doing and bought. Even if you didn't buy in, you still benefited from it.
That's
because
exactly
he was doing it so big. He was doing it so big.
What was different, Jeff? What was different on campus as an alumni? You got to see many years before Prime got there, but after he got there, what was the biggest noticeable difference for you as an alumni and booster once he was on site?
You know, at Jackson State, we always had an abundant amount of pride about our school and about who we are. But once he got there, man, these young people just, it's like they stood straighter, stuck their chest out, and they just started, to use his term, believe. Not only just believe in what this team could do, but they started to believe in themselves. How they behave. And you think about it, not anywhere have I heard that during Coach Prime's tenure that any football player got in trouble. Outside of the football business, but like in the community, on campus, I never heard about any of that. You know, he just brought a sense of pride to the campus that we always had good football teams prior to the past 2 decades. You know, we had good teams. Winning was nothing new to us, but during that era, we thought 8-3 was winning. But in the Coach Prime era, 8-3 is losing.
Right.
He just raised the bar on everything, the expectations, and I think with the students, he gave them a reason to have great expectations of themselves.
Right. So he changed a climate, not just the climate, but he changed the culture. The question is, and I think you just raised it, can it be replicated? Can it be maintained, this change of culture? Because let me tell you what happens when the coach is not the coach that they just hired to replace him was there, and he was there through the process. So yes, he saw it and all of that.
Definitely tell us about the coach too. I'd like to know more about this new coach
and whether or not you think he's the man to continue the revolution, because that's what it's been. Or has he been so much exposed and steeped into the the pre-culture that he might slip back into that?
No, I think that I don't know much about Coach T.C. Taylor. I know he played quarterback, I believe, at Jackson State several years ago. And for one while last year, he was offensive coordinator.
Okay.
And as you know, Coach brought in a new offensive coordinator this year. So he understands Coach Prime very well. I don't think that he would try to be Coach Prime Jr. because he's his own guy.
Right.
But I think the advantage that he has over a guy from the outside, he can always pick up the phone and call Coach Prime. And see, that's a distinct advantage that he has. And if you look at it now, I think past couple of days, he's gotten couple 3-star guys who committed to him at Jackson State.
Good.
So
good.
I think it's going to go on under that way, like all the social media and that kind of stuff. He may not be able to do that like that because nobody does it like Coach Prime. So we are going to talk about being this. I think the worst thing he can do is try to be Coach Prime.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Mm-hmm.
And so, and I don't think he will because he's been with him for 3 years. So he understands what it takes for him to be a successful coach. And he's also at his alma mater, which is very important to him.
Right.
What does it look like, in your opinion, if you were to kind of extrapolate as to what it might look like next year without Coach Prime? What do you expect to be different? Do you expect a tremendous drop off in attendance and all those things? Or what would you expect?
I would hope that our attendance would remain pretty steady. That we know it all started because of Coach Prime,
right?
But it doesn't have to stop because he's not there. Because good football is good football. I think as long as we play good football, we'll be all right. Just like I used to tell people talk about the Southern Heritage Classic. And 10, 12 years ago, I was saying that, you know what, if we put a good product on the field, we can stay at home and make just as much money.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've always said that. It's always about the product you put on the field.
Mm-hmm.
And if they continue to play good football, even if they lose, but look like they know how to play football, I think they'll still have a great attendance. And I believe that people are going to come out in the beginning to support Coach Taylor and hope that everything keeps clicking. We don't expect another undefeated season. That'll be unrealistic. But we expect good football. We've seen what good football looks like. For the past 20, prior to 3 years ago, for the past 20 years, we saw what mediocre football looked like and basically horrible football. But now we see what good football looks like, and that's our expectation. And if he puts a good product on the field, they're going to still fill the stands. You think about it. Before Coach got there, we were doing 43,000.
Right.
So, you know, we turn out even when we lose it.
Talk about how you feel about this new paradigm of paying for players.
You know, I think it's great. Paying for players and the portal is the best thing to happen to black athletes.
Really? Unpack that a little bit.
Yeah. You think about these guys. You remember the Chris Webber story? He couldn't buy pizza, but they were selling his jersey with his name on it.
Right.
At Michigan.
Right.
I think that makes no sense. These kids play football. They should get some money. You can't work and play football. You can be on an academic scholarship and work, but you can't be on an athletic scholarship and earn money. So you automatically come in at a disadvantage.
Right.
But if you can make money, but you got to think about how many of those guys really make money, though. Like Coach Prime say, everybody say they have an NIL, but you don't see them anywhere. You don't see them on anything. Right. So basically, it's just a way just to get them money above the table. Because I'm sure it's been going on all the time at the bigger institutions. And then the portal. Y'all are athletes. Y'all understand. You go to a school thinking you'll have a fair shot, but then you can go there and get in the doghouse for a little bit of anything. No, if you hit the coach wrong that day, you're in the doghouse the rest of your career. So why should you have to stay there when you know you would never get a fair shot?
You're exactly right, but you're exactly right, Jeff. And but the inverse of that, on just speaking on behalf of those other kids, the coaches are now not recruiting at the high school level. They're not recruiting, especially those with limited budgets, because what I've been told is that they can actually go into the portal. They get kids that they see video of. They got their grades at a college level. They have every piece of information that's vital to making a sound decision. Whereas with a high school kid, outside of 4 and 5 star, they don't really get a chance to see those kids in the environment that they would be in a collegiate environment. So it does have an impact, and it's impacted high school sports in a negative way from a standpoint of presenting them kids with opportunities at the high school level.
You know, especially in the urban community.
Yes. Yes.
But Larry, what we must do, we have to change the focus from just trying to be an athlete.
Oh,
even
no
in
doubt.
high school, they need
No
to get
doubt.
more academic. Because if you look at it, football, basketball, all those opportunities are getting less and less for athletes coming out of high school.
Yeah.
And everybody thinks they're too good for junior college.
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask you all a question. What happens to the guy that thought he was gonna go D1 or a better school, but nobody picks him up? What happens to him if he thinks he's too good for junior college?
And he doesn't have a degree, not good things happen to him. He doesn't finish college, not good things happen
We're
to him.
talking high school. We're talking about high school.
He might end up as some of them might end up as used car salesman.
Well,
somewhere because they got a name and a face.
I got one in my house that got caught up in that whole 2020 debacle with high school sports and COVID and so on and so forth. So what did he do? He trained for 2 years. And between that time of I'm going to UK, I'm going to Kansas, I'm going to this, that, and the other, that changed and they got real humble. And he realized that the world didn't stop because he wasn't on the scene. And it made him a much hungrier young man. And I think it added a tremendous amount of character. So all is not terrible because these kids aren't given a scholarship on a silver platter. Because I can look at my son and see how it's had a tremendously positive impact.
And here's what I would say to that: big A difference. He has you, absolutely. And most of these kids,
that is very true.
Most of these young men don't have a you.
Right.
They don't even have a male
role model,
a prominent, positive male role model in their house or their lives.
That is very true.
All they have is that AAU guy that handles them and gets paid for it.
Absolutely.
And he ain't getting paid
he
at
don't
the
care.
level now.
He don't care above and beyond what you
right
can
now.
do for him. Right
if
now.
you ain't hot, you can't do him any good.
So Jeff, as we gotta go out, but overall, give me what do you say to those of your fellow alums that are on social media and other places, talk radio shows and sports shows, talking
negatively,
cutting up and talking all kind of craziness
about Deion.
Shut up. I say to them, be quiet. But the first thing I ask them, especially if they're an alum, when they come with the negativity, my first question: do you donate? If they say, well, there you go talking about, so I always got to, if you ain't giving money, you don't have an opinion. You don't have an opinion. You can't talk to me if you're not giving, you don't have to be wealthy to give money. Because all money is good money. You know,
that's right.
You don't have to be you don't have to be writing checks. You can send a money order. They take cashier's checks, but you can't talk. But that's why I tell fellow alums, you can't talk to me about this if you're not helping the situation any. And not tell anybody, Howard and Larry, we are much better off today than we were the day he stepped foot on campus.
Mm-hmm.
We have a wonderful locker facility and training facility for our athletes. We have $1 million practice field. When he got there, Howard, they were eating wolf booties. You know where you get a sandwich and a carton of milk after practice almost, Now,
wow.
And the first thing the man did was put him on nutrition. If you look at anything Deion talks about early on, excuse me, it's about the nutrition. He upped that nutrition to a professional level.
Right.
Everything he did was based on going to the pros, being a professional, not necessarily just athletic, but professional in your personal life.
Being a professional. Being a pro.
Absolutely.
Everything he did was about being a true professional. And if anybody thinks we got holes by him coming, they are just so very wrong. Nobody in HBCU world took a loss because Deion showed up. Everybody gained something. Even Tennessee, let me get my shot in. Even Tennessee State that only has 5,000 fans for the home game. Okay, yeah. Done with that. I gotta get petty. So
you said it.
I had to get petty.
All right. You know you gonna get there. Will be blowback on that. You know this, right? Jeff Harris, thank you, man, for being with us here on R&R on Sports. We appreciate you. And it's like being in the Costa Nostra, brother. We're going to call you. And the answer must be yes.
Next time I'm wearing me a cap like y'all, man.
All right, bro. Go on, take care of your business. Thank you. Love you back.
All right.
Take care.
All right.
All right.
This is R&R on Sports.
Success in life is not a straight line. There are twists and turns in everyone's life, and the more you know about their story, the more you'll understand the process. Kadzukian Media Group proudly presents The Journey, a show that features successful Black men in Memphis telling their stories of their lives and the ups and downs they've encountered on their ultimate road to success. We believe The Journey will encourage young men and help them see that life is a journey. Watch The Journey, hosted by me, Larry Robinson. Brought to you by the Kadzukian Media Group in partnership with the Delta Boulé. And proudly supported by the Tennessee Valley Authority. Thank you to our partners.
This is R&R on Sports.
Welcome back for more as we head toward the door. Don't do it. Thank you.
Holla.
No, I'm talking about
I didn't even
pitch. Yeah, okay. All right. So, man, like the old folks say, like the old man said, peoples is dying that ain't never died before.
That sound like a Yogi Berraism. That sound like so.
Some of that wisdom. So they called him the head and creator of the air raid offense. And this is head coach of Mississippi State Bulldogs, Mike Leach. The late Mike Leach died suddenly, and we want to issue our condolences to all of the Mississippi State University family.
He wasn't sick long.
No,
I mean, he got sick now. Went to the hospital and checked on him.
It's most amazing. But a point of clarity on that air raid offense. They weren't the first down there to do that. There was another coach, Cooley, I think it's Archie Cooley, coach of Mississippi Valley State, that had, let's say a similar, if not original, offense of the same ilk. And he happened to have a quarterback, Willie Totten.
Yeah,
and he had a wide receiver with hands so soft he had been catching bricks because his daddy was a bricklayer, and his name was
Jerry Rice. Jerry Rice, one of the greatest, if not the greatest, wide receiver of all time.
That's right. Who you got?
Who I got?
Yeah, who you got?
Shoot, I got Paul Silas, man. LeBron's first coach in the NBA.
Yep.
I mean, and his son now is the coach down in Houston. So we want to give, our condolences, send our condolences to the Silas family. But an NBA icon for his longevity. LeBron has always praised him for helping him to become acclimated to the league. And just want to say a big shout out to Paul Silas.
Real quickly, I saw some footage. Did you see the footage of the game between LeBron's son and
Carmelo's son?
Carmelo's son. Yeah,
I did. I actually watched the game.
Oh, you watched the game?
I watched the game.
That's the first time. I just watched clips and highlights. Melo's kid is sweet. It's
he's
smooth.
Nice. He's got a jumper, man.
He does.
Nice.
That's
he's
deadly.
Nice. Yeah.
But Bronny, oh my goodness.
Bronny's turning.
It was a highlight reel.
Yeah, Bronny's turning out to be quite the ball player. And then Bryce, I think, is even going to take it to another level. So LeBron, man, I mean, Bronny's playing good ball. Real good ball.
Somebody told me long, long years ago, if it works in racehorses, it works. DNA and genetics and all of that. It works for us. We appreciate you being with us here on R&R on Sports. As always, we encourage you to take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and have a wonderful, enjoy yourselves. It's holiday season, okay?
Enjoy yourself, enjoy yourself, enjoy yourself, enjoy yourself.
You got to enjoy yourself.
Literally the black sheep of the Jackson family. Larry Jackson. You don't hear about him much. He was what was the dad's name? What was dad's
Joe
name?
Jackson.
Joe's love child. Joe's love child.
with the tone deaf choir member for the Triple Rock Baptist Church.
Missionary Baptist Church. They could not claim. They could not claim. Would have messed up everybody. Y'all take care.
Peace.
R&R is hosted by Larry Robinson and Howard Robertson. R&R is directed, produced, recorded, and distributed by Kadzukian.